Hello and welcome back. So we're going to look into a few more examples of integration by substitution or U-substitution if you like. And we're going to look into some examples that are slightly bit more tricky. So let's say we've got something like integral of x over x squared plus 1 with respect to x. So how do we go about doing that? Well, first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to classify x squared plus 1 as u, okay? So the derivative of that is 2x. So we need 2x with respect to x as du. That is the aim for us to be able to get to. So suppose we multiply this whole thing by a half, and we write that as 2x over x squared plus 1 with respect to x. Well, the 2 cancels out, and that's the equivalent of what we had before. So we can now write that as 1 over 2 times the integral of 1 over u, because we're substituting this as u, and we have the 2x dx, which is du. So that's really the equivalent. Now, the integral of 1 over u is, of course, the natural log of the absolute value of u plus c. And now we substitute that with a half natural log x squared plus 1 plus c. Right, so let's have a look at another example. Now, let's say we've got something like the integral of x plus 1 cubed dx. So the derivative of that straight away, we're going to term this as u, and the derivative of that is 1. So we need 1 dx in order to make that du. So how can we do that? Well, that's really integral of x plus 1 cubed times 1 dx, which is as is. So this one's actually not too hard at all. So that's u cubed respect to u, which is u to the power of 4 on 4 plus c. And substituting our terms back, we've got that's x plus 1 to the power of 4 over 4 plus c. Right, so let's have a look at one more example. Say we've got something like the integral of 5x plus 2 to the power of 7 dx. So we need that as u, and we need 5 dx as du. So that's our aim. Well, if we put 1/5 outside, that will give us 5x plus 2 to the power of 7 times 5 dx. So now that's really the equivalent of that. And now we just put our u substitution in. So that's 1/5 times the integral of u to the power of 7 du. That is 1/5 times u to the 8 over 8 plus c, which is really u to the 8 to the power of 40 plus c. So plugging in the original expression, we have 5x plus 2 to the power of 8 over 40 plus c. Right, so that's a few examples on how to go about when we've got trickier sort of cases with U-substitution. As you can see, we've had a pattern where a good trick is to sort of have the reciprocal fraction outside the integral. That always makes life easier. So that's one trick that you should use with future problems. So I'll see you in the next video.